Ciao everyone and welcome back to another episode of Learn Italian with Songs. Today we are going to talk about Mon Amour by Annalisa because this is the second chapter of the story we are going to talk about this week. And in fact, yesterday we started with the first chapter of this story, Bellissima, always by Annalisa. Gentle reminder, why are we talking about this story divided mainly in 3 chapters, but actually developing throughout the whole album, these and the other 2 songs belong to. And in fact, we are talking about E poi siamo finiti nel vortice, and then we ended up in the vortex, the 8th album by Annalisa. And once again, why are we talking about this whole general topic? Because as promised, since we finished the bunch of songs, the group of songs coming from Sanremo 2025, we are going to talk about and compare the 2025 edition with the 2024 edition. And in fact, the last chapter of this story is represented by Sinceramente, always by Annalisa, that was also her entry for Sanremo 2024. However, to understand better this whole story, we have to see the main chapters. Yesterday we talked about Bellissima, today we are going to talk about Mon Amour, and tomorrow we are going to end the story and jump back again in Sanremo 2024 with Sinceramente. Now, as Blaue is rightfully pointing out, Mon Amour is not Italian, and in fact the title is in French. Mon Amour means in French my love, and in Italian would be Amore mio. But Annalisa has this thing for French, and we are going to talk about this more in the discussion because there are some interesting observation we can discuss. So, we talked about Bellissima. Bellissima was about a toxic relationship that was more of a ended relationship or a situationship, or what we like to call in Italian tira e molla, so like back and forth from a not healthy relationship. Now, if the first chapter was about toxic love, what the second chapter might be about? Exactly, once again, toxic love. So, specifically, however, in a different light respect to the other 2 chapters. So, while Bellissima was about this woman, a lot of autobiography, as explained also by Annalisa herself, because she told an episode, she talked about a period of her life she really went through. And with Mon Amour, we are again in this situation because the whole album is focused on this autobiography narrative, okay? So, Bellissima, we had someone who stood up, our beautiful Annalisa, and she was indeed the most beautiful. And she deserved more. So, what do you do after a breakup? Well, you go and have fun. More specifically, quoting Annalisa herself, or at least some interviews concerning this song, it tells the story of a moment that divides a disappointing past, told in Bellissima, from the desire to run towards the future, what we are going to see in Sinceramente, without abandoning self-irony and light-heartedness. Specifically, Annalisa stated, because to start over, it takes time. You have to be ready, and so while you wait, you suspend yourself in a sort of limbo until you find yourself. This song, so the chapter of the story we are going to talk about tomorrow, is the song of that limbo. of that recklessness, and why not of the crazy idea of revenge that makes you feel powerful again, even if only for an instant. And in fact, this revenge is expressed in the official video clip, because in the official video clip we see Annalisa going to a house where a party is going on, and basically killing people there. That's the concept of the video. Because it is the representation against the person who had you go through some shit that we saw in Bellissima. Once again, if you want to read the full article I am mentioning, it is an article by TG24. You can ask me for the link in the comments or on Discord. So, without further ado, we can go and talk about the lyrics. The structure of the song is going to be quite classic: verse, pre-chorus, chorus, verse, pre-chorus, chorus, and a repetition of the chorus as used as an outro. Once again, just like with Bellissima, we start a gamba tesa. Quindi ci piacciamo oppure no? So, do we like each other or not? Sangue nella dance floor. Blood on the dance floor. Ci ballerò. I'll dance in it. Anche se è soltanto un altro stupido, even if it's just another fool, sexy boy, io ci sto. Sexy boy, I'm in. So, we have our Annalisa, who is, of course, who was, is, and forever will be Bellissima. And she got stood up. So, after this breakup, we have to take back our life as single people. We have to rediscover ourselves. And what are we going to do? We're going to dance and fuck. Jokes aside, the whole purpose of the first verse is, do we like each other or not? Because it describes the situation when we go to dance, where people go to dance, because actually I don't. And in fact, the second line is sangue nella dance floor. Exactly, gas, slay queen. Nella, feminine, because in Italian, dance floor is of course in English, dance floor in Italian would be pista da ballo, la pista da ballo, the dance floor. So, now, she says, ci ballerò in the blood, in the dance floor. Sorry, sometimes my turtles jump scare me. We don't know if this is referred to the blood or the dance floor, maybe both. Why not? And then, like, on this dance floor, she finds another sexy boy, just a silly sexy boy, a stupid sexy boy, but you know what? We need some distraction after the breakup, so we are in. And then we have the pre-chorus. E domani non lavoro, quindi. And tomorrow I don't work, so. Ce ne stiamo distesi. We are lying. As in, like, we are lying down. We lie down on the floor. Sopra soldi già spesi. On money already spent. Colazioni francesi. French breakfast. Con gli avanzi di ieri. With yesterday's leftovers. Se non lo facciamo, me lo immagino. If we don't do it, I imagine it. Dovrei, should I, non dovrei dirti che, shouldn't I tell you that? So, here we have basically our queen slaying on the dance floor. And even better, because tomorrow she doesn't work, so she is free to fuck around and find out tonight, the whole night. And in fact, we have a opposition, because you can see this U and this A, which is like, U is like cool, ce ne stiamo distesi a soprasoldi già spesi, which is positive, a positive thing, U, a negative thing, A. Because the issue is that, yes, we are lying down on money, which usually is like a rich, like, is to show off, to flex the fact that you are rich because you are lying on money. I bet you have the classic image in your mind. There are many photo shoots with a model lying on money, right? But there is a problem. These money are not real, are not ours anymore, because they are already spent. And then, once again, good thing, bad thing, colazioni francesi, French breakfast, so something classic, okay? Sorry, something classy, something posh, something positive, because like glamour and fancy. But negative thing, with yesterday leftovers. Blaue, I soldi in Italian are plural, unlike English, where they are uncountable. So if you want to say, I soldi fanno schifo. Anyway, so we have this good thing, bad thing type of situation, which also, in my humble opinion, matches a bit the whole idea, the whole concept, the whole narrative, as I like to say, of this song. And then we are here to dance, but even more important, we are here to fuck around, quite literally. In fact, she says, se non lo facciamo, me lo immagino. If we don't do it, I imagine it. What? Well, usually in this case, in Italian, you mean to make out or have a sexual intercourse. So, being an adult person singing this song, we can imagine the outcome. No, Blaue, I am not a teacher and I don't aspire to do so. But I hope I am helpful nonetheless. Anyway, and then we have this little bridge towards the chorus. Dovrei, non dovrei dirti che, should I, shouldn't I tell you that, what? We're going to find out in the chorus. And here, guys, the chorus became a meme, because this is also one of the biggest summer hits from 2023. Ho visto lei che bacia lui. I saw her kissing him. Che bacia lei, kissing her. Che bacia me, kissing me. Mon amour, amour. My love, love. Ma chi baci tu? But who are you kissing? Io farò una strage stasera. I'll make a massacre tonight. Ballo tra le lampade a sfera. I'm dancing among the sphere lamps. E lei piace sia a me che a te. And both you and I like her. Again, ho visto lei che bacia lui, che bacia lei, che bacia me. I saw her kissing him, kissing her, kissing me. Mon amour, amour, my love, love. Ma chi baci tu? But who are you kissing? Disperata e anche leggera, desperate and also light. Vengo per rubarti la scena. I come to steal you the scene. Hey garçon, ho un'idea. Hey boy, I have an idea, where garçon is another French word, which means boy in Italian would be ragazzo. I know, Blaue, but in Italy, French cuisine and generally French culture is deeply connected to idea of glam, posh, fashion, luxury, high level, because we associate due to cultural reasons France to this idea. And indeed, Gaso, who is a person of culture, knows the meme because everyone joked about this part. Ho visto lei che bacia lui, che bacia lei, che bacia me. Because, of course, there is the whole thing about who is kissing who. Because one interpretation is we have her kissing him, kissing her, kissing me. So basically it is a triangle, okay? But according to another interpretation, it is her number one, kissing him, kissing her number two, kissing me. So we have already four people. And then we have another person who is, who are you kissing, my love, Mon Amour, okay? So, like, it is either a threesome or an orgy. And of course, we have these kissing and much more, and of course, dancing, because the whole point of the album, the album, is having tracks that are going to make you dance. And in fact, bellissima, Mon Amour, sinceramente, great summer hits. They made dance so many people in Italy during summer, you have no idea. So, there is a lot of bisexuality or pansexuality, because she is clearly saying, vengo per rubarti la scena, I come to steal your scene. Hey garçon, ho un'idea. And then we have the second verse. Lei, she, un movimento tecnico, a technical move. Lui, he, un sorso con l'arsenico, a sip with arsenic. Io rimango sola come minimo. I end up alone at best. Sexy boy, allora io ci sto. Then I'm in. Couple of notes. Lei and lui technically are object pronouns. Like, they are used for complements, not as subjects. Because technically, grammatically speaking, in Italian, ella would be she, egli would be he. Then we have lei, her, and lui, him. Now, we are having this evolution ongoing where we are losing the usage of ella and egli and esso and essa in favor of lei and lui. Okay? So we are basically simplifying all the personal pronouns, subject, and we are just using the objective pronouns, okay? The issue is that technically, grammatically speaking, this is not recognized as correct. This is still considered colloquial. So, technically, you shouldn't use lei and lui as pronoun subject in official writing, so in formal writing, okay? Because it is considered wrong. Do Italians in spoken language use ella and egli? Absolutely not. And in fact, there is a whole discussion going on concerning this point because in our schools, when we learn Italian, we are taught that the subjects are egli, he, ella, she, esso and essa, it. Masculine and feminine because we have the two genders. The issue is that outside of this context, these pronouns are not used. So, if you want to simplify your life and just use lei and lui, it's okay. People are going to understand you even more. Usually people use these pronouns. However, just keep in mind that if you are in university, then you have to write in Italian. Some teachers might signal this usage as wrong, for it is considered technically only colloquial. Then we have a reference here. Not here referencing something else, but we analyzed in the past another song that is probably referencing this song. Now, there is an artist who, in my opinion, is trying to, it is very inspired by Annalisa, because yes, Annalisa uses a lot of, not a lot, but uses some English words, okay? But not as much as other authors, other artists in Italy. Annalisa is much more oriented on France and does French. We saw it in Bellissima. We see it here in Mon Amour because, the title is even in French, and we're going to see it tomorrow when I'm going to do parkour with my last brain cell, because Mon Amour, Sinceramente has a version. There is a featuring with an artist, a French artist, who sings half of the song in French. There is another artist we recently analyzed who's trying to do the same. This artist is Clara. And the similarities don't stop at French usage, but she also mentions in Nero Gotico the arsenic, which is a poison. So, as you can see, maybe I am the one hallucinating, I don't know, but I'm seeing some references. And then, just to close the notes on this verse, she says, io rimango sola come minimo, sexy boy, allora io ci sto. So, just to not feel alone and do something, let's go with the sexy stupid boy. And then we have once again the pre-chorus. E domani non lavoro, quindi ce ne stiamo distesi, sopra soldi già spesi, colazioni francesi, con gli avanzi di ieri. And tomorrow I don't work, so we are lying, on money already spent, French breakfast, with yesterday's leftovers. The Multiverse of Queens indeed. Se non lo facciamo, me lo immagino, non dovrei dirti che, if we don't do it, I imagine it, should I not tell you that? And then we have, once again, the chorus. Ho visto lei che bacia lui, che bacia lei, che bacia me. Mon amour, amour, ma chi baci tu? Io farò una strage stasera, ballo tra le lampade a sfera, e lei piace sia a me che a te. I saw her kissing him, kissing her, kissing me. Love, love, but who are you kissing? I'll make a massacre tonight. I'm dancing amongst fire lamps, and both you and I like her. Ho visto lei che bacia lui, che bacia lei, che bacia me. Mon amour, amour, ma chi baci tu? Disperata e anche leggera, vengo per rubarti la scena. I saw her kissing him, kissing her, kissing me. My love, love, but who are you kissing? Desperate and also light, I come to steal you the scene. Hey garçon, ho un'idea. Hey boy, I have an idea. Now, this last part, plus ho visto lei che bacia lui, che bacia lei, che bacia me, lui, lei, papà, is used as a bridge, and then the song ends with a repetition of the chorus one last time, used as an outro. And that was, in fact, the lyrics of Mon Amour by Annalisa. And I need to drink because staying hydrated is very important. Now, as usual, we have our gossip moment, which is not very gossipy, to be honest. Beautiful. So, now, as I was saying also for Bellissima, actually, Annalisa doesn't say much, she's very reserved. She doesn't like to say much about her life, which is totally understandable. Always protecting your privacy, guys. At the same time, it is funny because she's always criticized for being banal. Now, probably Mon Amour was indeed conceived to be, first and foremost, a summer hit, okay? Because it is very danceable. And the lyrics is quite simple, but once again, as I usually say, sometimes less is more. Both Bellissima and Mon Amour have, in fact, this structure, which is very simple, very danceable, and also, I don't know, apparently a bit banal. The issue is that, okay, so the issue is that if you take the songs one by one, they are often considered banal because the sound is not new, because the whole point of the song is not new. Here it depends how you want to evaluate the whole situation. If you think that it makes sense to consider the songs, these songs, in the economy, in the narrative of the album, then it makes more sense. Because it is easy to make an album. Okay, it is not easy, but it can happen that you make an album and the stories that you tell maybe have a common theme, but put together they are not really telling a story, okay? The whole point of this album, which is the 8th album of Annalisa, was to change direction because it is much more biographical. It is more dense, as we said in Bellissima. So it was an experiment for Annalisa, okay? And the fact that each track it is basically an episode of this story makes it more interesting. Also, the fact that technically you should consider Mon Amour in the narrative of Bellissima and Sinceramente makes it interesting once again. Now, there are people saying that it is banal nonetheless because it is just a commercial song, because even if you put everything together, the music and the lyrics, it is nothing new, it is too simple. In my opinion, it is an interesting experiment because each song represents a stage of after breakup moment. Okay. The song is very danceable, so that was the point of the song. The point was achieved. They became hits. Okay. Thank you, Blaue. It's all gifts by Alex. And so, like, she had an aim telling a story divided in 2 episodes and creating a narrative within the album, but also making song that had to make you dance. Because the whole point of at least these 3 songs, Bellissima, Mon Amour and Sinceramente, is to give her audience of people who went through or are going through breakups something to dance on while crying. So a bit of cathartic dance. Considering the success these 3 songs had, the point, the goal was achieved. Okay. So in my opinion, it worked because I understand that some people won't like this song. Per point, de gustibus non disputandum est. But at the same time, if the artist tells me, okay, I had this in mind and I achieved it, even if I don't like it, I consider it a win. So, yeah. Despite that, I don't have much more to say because once again, just like with Bellissima, the song is quite explicit. It goes right to the point. There is not much more to say because yes, the song it is made to be very minimal. So also the lyrics are in a certain way very repetitive because the whole point is to give like a song easy to sing while you are dancing on it. So again, I can't add much more to this. But you know that you can add what you think about this song in the comment section. And in fact, once again, I thank you everyone for watching. Grazie everyone for watching and arrivederci.